Board of Appeals of the Town of Chelmsford will hold a public hearing Thursday, February 6, 2020, at the Town Offices, 50 Billerica Road, room 204, to hear requests for special permits, variances, and other appeals. This meeting is being televised by Chelmsford TeleMedia. We have a hearing for 29 Gorham Street with Sean McDonough. This is going to be continued to March 5th, 2020. He is seeking a variance under 195 nonconformity to construct two new two-family homes and raising/constructing of an existing two-family home and any other relief that may be deemed necessary. I could get a motion to continue that to March 5th.
Motion to continue to March 5th as requested.
Second by Charlie. All in favor?
Aye.
Our next public hearing is continued to March 5th, 2020, 6 to 11 Walter Street, Doug Landry and Landry Brothers Construction, LLC, for an administrative appeal of the decision of the Building Commissioner of the Town of Chelmsford for enforcing the Chelmsford zoning bylaw for violation of Section 195-5 and/or Massachusetts General Law, Section 40A, for the purported use of a subject property for transport terminal located in a limited industrial zoning district. I could have a motion to
Make a motion
continue
to
that.
continue Walters Ave without bias, without prejudice, to our next meeting on March 5th.
A
The
second.
motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Our next hearing will be heard, 20 Summit Ave. Stephen Mitchell is seeking a variance under 195-5A conformity to extend the existing garage that will encroach on the side setback and any other relief that may be deemed necessary. Good evening. You can approach the podium and your name and address.
Sure. Steve Mitchell, 20 Summit Ave, Chelmsford residence for 19 years. And want me to go?
Yeah, you can just tell us what you plan to do. There's a map up there that may be easier to
point up to the
reference.
screen.
All right. So we have an existing garage that we'd like to renovate, and we'd like to be able to use the second story of the garage. Unfortunately, when the house was built, they weren't accessing the second story, so there is no access to the second story. So to do that, we want to put stairs in here, and to put the stairs and keep it in a two-car garage, we need to push the garage a few feet to the left.
Do you want that picture?
Just go back to the for a second. It's an unusual lot with sort of a pie shape, so the setback kind of encroaches to the house pretty quickly from where it is now. So this is the existing corner right now. This is the 25-foot setback, and we're just looking for a few feet over. So the front of the garage will actually still be within the setback.
This is not a special permit, this is
I thought it was
variance?
21 feet for a special permit.
21, 4 inches. I'm assuming that's a stairway, so shrinking that is not an option.
Want that other picture now?
Yeah.
So this is the existing garage. There's no stairway in here. This is our main entrance, and that's where the existing garage sits. So if you show the,
Is it up or down? Up? Oh, that's up.
I don't know what you've got.
This one, right?
Yes. So we're adding a stairway in this section right here, which pushes the garage.
Are you gonna move the whole structure over? I just assumed that was gonna be a stairway that you were adding.
No, that's just the extension
Okay.
Moving
on the inside.
Does the board have any questions?
Could you move the car 4 inches closer to the stairway and make it a special permit?
It'd be really nice to give you a special permit. The issue with a variance is we have to have a hardship. The lot is an unusual shape. If you were 4 inches shorter, it would make it a lot easier on the board.
4 inches.
Yeah,
We're
4
going-
inches of the overall
4 inches.
width.
We can do that.
4 inches?
No, it's less.
It's .2, I thought.
0.2, so 2.5 inches.
Yeah,
2.5 inches?
Well,
yeah,
that's
just
what
get
I'm
it,
reading.
just 21 feet, right?
Yeah, if you make it 21, then it's just a special permit.
Yeah,
2.5.
you're
I
at
wasn't aware of
0.2,
that.
I think. Right.
Because it's 20%.
20.8.
Yeah.
Under
so you're at
20%
0.2.
is the special permit, over is a
Well, you got
variance.
20.8 inches
So
here.
if it's under 20% of the side setback, if you need, you know,
It's a
more,
point, I see the decimal, but I
20%,
also see the
Yep.
foot.
then
No,
it's
that's a
because
foot.
of special permit. If you're over the 20% to
20.8
exception to the side setback, then it becomes a variance. So there's different requirements, so.
So it's intense.
Because you're
Yeah,
it's
so
two and a
it's
half
even
inches.
less.
close, which is like, you're talking inches,
Okay.
we get you the
Yeah.
special permit.
I
He's the
believe,
number engineer cruncher here.
It really says,
So these plans are
So,
correct, it's
if you look at this-
20.8 feet, correct?
Yeah,
it has 20.8 feet, but then there's an inch indicator after the 8. So I don't know if it's 20.8 or 20 feet, 8 inches.
okay,
No, it's
I'll look it up
20.8
again.
feet, that's what it is.
yeah,
But yeah, it's 2.5 or 3 inches.
yeah.
I'm assuming you're gonna get the foundation pinned anyways when you pour that.
Yep.
So if you just make sure that you are in fact 21 feet away from that edge, whatever the math works out to, would be much easier.
I will make sure that happens. What do I need to do to?
You just have to promise you're gonna do that.
Agree you're gonna do
We'll
that,
note it.
maybe get a new.
That's something we would verify through an as-built of the foundation.
So when you do the construction, your engineer's gonna come back regardless of whether this is done or not. And he's gonna locate that, and he's gonna tell you that the house is built, so it's 21 feet away
Okay.
from the lot line.
So I will work with your contractor to make sure that pin line is set at the
Okay.
right mark.
So now-
Yeah, it gives you a special permit. as opposed to a variance.
Now we're looking at a special permit.
Okay.
Are there any other questions from the board?
No,
I'm gonna go ahead and read the letters in. I have a letter from 20 Summit Ave from the police department with no comments. I have a letter from the fire department. Dear members of the board, this office has reviewed the proposal for an addition at 20 Summit Ave and finds the following. The entire home, existing and new construction, shall be equipped with life safety system as required by 780 CMR 51, standard for new construction at the time of application for a building permit. The home shall have hardwired, interconnected smoke, carbon monoxide, and heat detectors in all required locations. 3 copies of the plans that clearly show all required life safety devices shall be submitted to this office as part of the building permit plan review process. This office would approve of this addition with these conditions. I ask that the board make this letter part of their approval process. Respectfully submitted, Dan Kostafos, Captain, Chelmsford Fire Department. I have a letter from Hannah Sullivan of 23 Summit Ave. You've been advised of the Mitchell's plan to request a variance for the current zone setback for the garage expansion at 20 Summit Ave. We have no objections to the Mitchell's plan and support the variance application. I have a letter from Robert Fragello. Fagala. Dear board members, we advise that the Mitchell's plan to request a variance for the current zone setback for the garage expansion at 20 Summit Ave. We have no objections to the Mitchell's plan and support the variance application. This is 3 Summit Ave. I have a letter from John Taylor of 7 Summit Ave. Dear board members, we've been advised of the Mitchell's plan to request a variance to the current zone setback to the garage expansion on 20 Summit Ave. We have no objections to the Mitchell's plan and support the variance application. I'll keep reading. Dear board members, we've been advised of the Mitchell's plan to request a variance to the current zone setback for the garage expansion on 20 Summit Ave. We have no objections to the Mitchell's plan and support the variance application. Gary J. Dudek, 24 Summit Ave.
it's 20%.
Last one.
Yeah.
Dear board members, we have been advised of the Mitchell's plan to request a variance to the current zone setback for the garage expansion at 20 Summit Ave. We have no objections to the Mitchell's plan and support the variance application. Kevin Reddy, 1 Neshoba Drive.
It's okay.
And that is all of my letters.
5 feet? Yeah, 25
Wait a
foot.
second, we're wrong.
Yeah,
We have to go to 20 feet.
yeah,
not
20 feet,
21.
not 21, so it's actually
So-
okay.
So 2.8.
20%.
20%
Yeah,
of
it's 20%.
25 is 21.
2.5, right?
No, it's 20.
No.
It's 5. So it's
Here we
5.
go doing math.
But then,
Five.
yeah, I hope so.
It's
I always
20
tell
let's
people
go
to
to
ask for
20
what you
feet.
want.
Yeah,
Yeah, are we right, Sean? 20?
You can
yeah,
make
it's
Sean do math?
20%, right?
Yeah, we'll make Sean do that.
It is
20%.
5.
Yeah, he has
Thanks.
to go to 22.
So
It
it's,
is 5?
so it's 20
It's
feet.
5.
All right,
So
then
it
he's
should
at,
be, it's okay.
he's at,
It's okay as shown.
20.8.
So he has to go to, he has to get, no, it's.
Oh, he can't be below 20 feet, he can be
He
20
said-
or above.
He can actually
He
go out.
he qualifies as special
Oh, I
permit
see.
Yeah, 20, yeah, he's okay.
20 feet.
Yeah,
So you could
Got it.
actually
that's why I just had to go back.
expand this
It's right here.
8/10 of a foot.
Just listen to these guys.
We'll leave it at the size, I think. That gives you some room for error.
Yeah.
So we do not need,
all right.
So
No, it should have been
So
a,
if it's
Why was it a variance in this?
19.9, got it.
right, at 19.9, it's a problem.
Yeah, great, figure it out.
No change of pin,
unless I'm
special
reading this
permit.
wrong.
No,
20%.
It's 20.
Simple math says it's
5
okay.
foot, 5 foot.
95.90.
I know you.
okay. Math class is over. Are there any further questions from the board on the applicant?
How could that be? It's everything's in percentages.
Passing your homework?
No
Well,
percentages
correct
would
these?
have gotten there
Yeah.
are
without.
there any comments or concerns from the audience who'd like to speak? Please come up, your name and address before you speak, please.
My name is Delana Carpas, and I live with my husband Raymond at 38 Robin Hill Road, which is in the corner of Robin Hill and Summit Ave. And I'm the neighbor on the other side of that stone wall. So I'm not surprised that all the other neighbors are not opposed, because they would not be as impacted as we would be. And there are two main concerns. First is privacy. We have been in this house for 42 years, and we have been looking at the roof of this garage. So with this expansion, there would be 2 huge windows looking into our backyard. So that is a privacy concern. Second concern is that our lot is a wooded lot mainly, and our trees go up to the property line. On the other side, there are almost no trees. I'm not sure, I didn't look very carefully, but my concern is this, that we've had this issue in the past with other neighbors, not this property, but other neighbor on the other side, where the house was built pretty close. I mean, it was not over the setback, but at one point the neighbor said, oh, this big tree, I'm afraid will fall on my garage, you have to cut it. So that involved a huge expense on our part.
But
So I'm
could you
con-
repeat that? I just didn't understand. What was the expense?
It was a huge expense to have a tree cut, a big oak tree cut down, because this neighbor on the other side was concerned about branches from our tree that was near the property line, was overhanging on her property, and she felt her garage was
Threat.
threatened. And so she said, well, you have to have the tree
You
cut.
do own up to your property line. Once these trees extend past that is a responsibility that
My
you would have, that anyone would have. If the gentleman had a tree that was on his side and go over your side,
Yes.
it's your tree.
So it belongs to the person where the tree grows or where the branches go over?
Well,
I'm not clear.
once the branches grow over, then your tree is encroaching.
All right, so then it is our responsibility to cut it or trim it. What I'm saying, the closer the garage comes to the property line, the higher the risk that my trees would be threatening this building.
I guess I can understand your concerns. But looking at it, seeing a lot of trees that are overhanging his property in any sense. You feel there's
No, but
trees
there
that
are-
are
there
hanging
are-
over the property line
They're
there?
not overhanging, but there are trees growing. I mean, the trunks are near the property. I haven't been inspecting, the branches overhanging, but the tree could, the trunk could,
What is it to the house? Is that correct, 113 feet from the? from the property line to the house?
It's 113 feet from the house.
There is a long distance, but that is our property, not theirs.
Correct,
Well,
correct.
What are we talking about, the windows or the trees?
They're both issues. The
Right,
both-
but let's talk about the trees, because
Okay.
Do the
6
trees
feet isn't gonna
provide
make
you
a
with,
difference on the windows.
you know, so people can't see you? Do they block the view in any
Well,
sense?
when the leaves are out, but half of the year we can see the garage roof.
I'm just gonna, even if this particular garage was 5+ feet more over, he could then put it in and still put the windows there. So if that was the case, he wouldn't even need a special permit here.
You could just do it
He could
by
just
right.
do the windows. So to me, this is just me now, I think the trees are more something to look at, because that could actually cause somewhat of a concern, but the windows, you know,
See if we can get a,
less than, you know, I mean,
There was someone out of
less than 5 feet from the plan, and he's not even here,
right,
yeah.
right.
So his garage is 100,
And
Plus
13
feet
feet, yeah.
from
something.
your house?
129.
Well, that was the property line.
129?
That was from the property line.
Yeah, but that is.
Right, so then
20 feet
another
more.
20 feet.
There is a long distance between the two houses, but it's because we have a large plot. And so, and we enjoy the privacy and we enjoy
Okay.
the woods. We would rather look at the trees than at the larger house, you know, on the other side.
Yeah, I get it, but
Okay, well, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Are there any other questions or concerns regarding this application? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Close the public hearing.
second the motion.
Second, Jamie, all in favor?
Aye.
We can take this up right now, as we have nothing else to take up.
well, I mean, like I was saying, I think from the window standpoint, I mean, I understand her point, but I just don't see that that's an issue to block.
Overwhelmingly.
Yeah, this change, I mean, the trees themselves, I don't know, didn't really see much.
Because
We
he's
can
only,
call on it as it is.
Yeah, you know, that's the way I see it too, you know, I mean, I just,
and it's not like he's,
And-
the second story's already there.
Yeah.
He's only
No, the
next,
second story is not there, it's at the roof.
The
Right now,
roof
the
is coming
second-
off and a new second floor is
Yes.
getting built?
Mhm.
So it's being reconfigured, it's 2-story now. So
yeah,
if you
right,
look at
that's what,
it,
it's the same height,
It's just, yeah.
it's just gonna be set up differently.
I say, because he's,
Let's
the
go.
plans don't show an
Let me spin it, let me spin this.
addition.
Maybe we can see.
So is
what-
it dormered that
Added
way, is that
stair.
what's, is that the change, essentially? Yeah,
We're just adding a dormer.
yeah,
Well, but the height's still the same.
You're
To the
not gonna
beach,
make
yeah.
trees any more of a threat than they already are, really.
yeah, I'm just saying, less than 5 feet, we're not even talking.
There's the window side, right there.
Yeah.
Were the lower first floor windows there before?
Yes.
Yes.
So, Mr. Chairman, if I may, if you look at the construction and design of construction as well, what we're looking at for even needing a special permit or a variance is the overhangs. The overhangs are the furthest extending portion of the building. And you're looking at about a foot and a quarter of overhangs there.
So we're further reducing the actual building.
The actual building is
We're down
Less.
to-
well within.
Yeah.
This is more like the soffit part that hangs from the roof, not even the building itself.
So, no, he's like only 3 feet over the
Yeah,
line,
yeah, from,
from the building point of view, the structure. main
And
structure.
only at the rear of the structure. He's not quite parallel to the property line.
Yeah, it is
It's only
only
that
the front,
rear corner.
the rear of the structure, correct.
It's like what, not even a square foot of the structure?
So now it's 4 feet from this corner and reducing down
Less than a square foot of the structure.
dramatically.
So then, in all actuality, the windows are probably on the right side of the line.
Conforming,
Yeah.
they would be very close to that.
So if he built it without the overhang and the windows, he's not here anyway,
Correct.
probably.
yeah.
Okay.
Because the
That's
windows,
kinda
I mean,
like
he's
that.
not, he wouldn't be
Yeah.
here because he wouldn't, he's not
Somewhere
changing
there.
20%.
No, I
for-
understand her point, but believe me, I understand.
I'll entertain a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the now special permit for 20 Summit Ave under 195-A conformity to extend the existing garage with respect to all the letters that were read in to the record.
And I'll
Second
second
by
that.
Mark. All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous.
You got it.
Good luck with it.
Thank you very much.
Have fun.
Yeah, speaking of the windows and all that, that's what I have across the street from me, and they put in the friggin' Radisson there.
Hey, come
My
on.
wife goes down to the pool and she goes, what are you gonna do? You put in the couple trees, so that's gone. That sucks. I get it. What are you gonna do?
We're being taped because
I think
FinCom's
it-
live
I
tonight.
think it's just these guys.
So, has everyone a chance to go over the minutes?
Yes.
I did get something from you. Can you
Yeah.
tell me where it is again?
Did you get a
Should I look
typo?
at your email?
It's in the,
Nancy's are, wait. Nancy's are.
You want to be there? Take a minute.
Hi, have a good night.
Oh, is that never stopped? Did you put in the whole time?
What are they?
Oh, thank you.
Want to try it? Mine will be good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to approve the meeting.
Too much? What? That might
No,
be
take
too
yes.
much, but it's way too much.
I like it.
Can I just start by making a motion to approve October 3rd meeting minutes? That would be start.
Second?
second.
All in favor?
Yeah.
And then we have
Oh,
November
that was the
7th.
one. Oh, yeah, that was.
Stephen
Yes.
Mark on that one?
No.
No, who is it? Stephen, who seconded?
Oh,
I stayed out because I wasn't here for some of those.
I wasn't here for the 7th, so.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from November 7th with Stephen's corrections.
I second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
You guys aren't here for anything, right?
Myself?
Yeah.
I just wonder what the meeting on Walter Street is all about.
On what street?
Walter Street. where
So
UPS
we can show you what the application is if you'd like to see it. I think we can show them tonight, right?
Yeah, you can,
But I have a feeling it's gonna change over time, and- which is why they withdrew.
It's gonna change.
no, it's a appeal of the building commissioner's determ,
I can't hear it.
coming up.
You can come up.
Should we approve this and then adjourn, Brian?
Oh, we could do that, yeah.
Because that way we can talk to Bruce. And I'd like to approve the meeting minutes from December 9th.
I have a crazy
Make a
situation.
motion to approve the meeting minutes from December 9th.
I'll second the motion.
Second, all in favor?
Yes. Okay, now I'll make a motion to adjourn for this evening,
Thank you.
planning board meeting.
We'll be still meeting in the group if we're gonna discuss this with him.
No, if he came to
She's
the office,
just
I would
showing
show
a
him the
public
same
record.
So I came afterwards.
So we do have a motion to adjourn. What's the matter? Oh, we
You don't need to soak it.
What do you want me to do? Blocking the camera.
We're just trying to close out our meeting so we can adjourn.
Who seconded?
All in favor? You don't
Aye.
have to second it.
You don't have to second a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, you don't
Oh,
have
so
to
you made the motion.
For discussion only.
Charles made
That's fine.
Charles
These are Robert's
motioned,
rules of order.
Charlie made it.
It's fine.
I say aye,
We're all closed out.
we're closed.
Meeting's done.
Yeah, the meeting's done.